All right, here we go. We have in the top right here of Fighting Spirit, Dark, playing StarCraft 2 Zerg. And in the top left, we're going to have TY, and he's going to be playing StarCraft 1 Terran. Of course, honestly, a better StarCraft 2 player than Dark as well. If you ask me, TY, one of the greatest. But yeah, he will be going with the StarCraft 1 Terran. I'm really excited to see what he's going to go for, because here's the thing. Like, you have to consider banelings. So I put actually quite a bit of thought in this, right? Like, I'm something like 0-22 in this mod so far, but I put a lot of thought into it. I think I'm going to play some more games of it, because I've kind of come up with some of my errors in thinking, like, too close to StarCraft 1 strategies and stuff. So you definitely gotta play it a bit different. Now, my first thought here is, first off, really hard to go mech because you can't kite Zerglings with the vultures. Now, I heard that they might patch that and fix that. I don't know how they would do that, but basically in StarCraft 1, speed vultures can kite Zerglings forever and kill them. StarCraft 2, that's not the case. They have to turn, stop, and shoot. So that's pretty unplayable. Now, medics come out much quicker than medevacs, so you can definitely put on some bio pressure, but the weapons against banelings aren't as good, right? There's no widow mines, right? That's a bit of an issue. There's no medevacs to pick up if the banelings come in too close. So I feel like it might turn into something like marine medic opener into heavy siege tanks. That's about the best thing I could think of so far. But yeah, I guess we'll see what TY thinks is going to be the right way to play this. Now, he is going for an expansion into a factory as well. Dark just getting his spawning pool. And yeah, we'll wait a moment here. See what they're going to end up going for. I do want to mention, well, we kind of wait to see what TY wants to do with this factory. People should follow the Artosis Cast 2 YouTube channel. Definitely do check it out. Have a lot of StarCraft 1 versus StarCraft 2 matches coming up. A lot already on the channel. And a lot of StarCraft 2 casts, Stormgate, Zero Space, all sorts of great stuff. So definitely do check that out. Now, double factory, no add-on getting a single vulture. The vulture probably just to make sure he doesn't die to something silly like Zerglings. And I imagine he will go for an add-on afterwards. So it looks like it's probably like a 2-factory vulture that TY will be going for. And this is actually like the primary thing that I've been trying to do in this matchup is like a vulture-based opening. I'll be interested to see what he does against heavy speedlings that just kind of like keep that pressure on him. You know, it's just, you can't really kite. Also, another funny thing is like a lot of things in StarCraft 2 are faster, but because there's like, because of the way that StarCraft 2 doesn't let you cast like 1,000,000 spells at once, you can't lay 1,000,000 spider mines at once, which is kind of hilarious. Like you actually have to shift command out all of your spider mines. They lay way slower than StarCraft 1 does. In StarCraft 1, you just grab a group of vultures, tell them to lay mines, and they all try to lay a mine. But yeah, we'll see how he utilizes that advantage or disadvantage here. I do think the Vulture, though, is pretty darn strong in this mod, especially against Protoss. Like, Stalkers are only considered medium, so Vultures do 10 damage to them, which is pretty insane. Very unlike StarCraft 2, where they only do 5 damage to Dragoons. So a couple Vultures out there. He has gone for mines first as opposed to speed. So I guess just going to lay out some defensive mines here. Roach Warren is coming up for Dark, who does have that third hatchery up now as well. I guess one thing to note is that Overlords for StarCraft 2 Zerg are not detectors. Kind of a big deal. Yeah, lays out a few mines there. Yeah, just gonna run some lings in. Try to clear that up. A few siege tanks on the way now. So it is just a straight up mech approach. Just laying a few more mines here on the edges of creep. Catching a few of those lings as well. But yeah, Dark doing a pretty good job of just splitting this all out. A couple Ravagers on the way. Third command center here for TY. His, you know, oh, another thing that actually I thought a lot about with this mod in general, right? So StarCraft 2 has mobility advantage and macro advantage. And StarCraft 1 basically just has a splash damage advantage. So I do think that basically, unless you find like a sweet timing, you probably have to sit there and just build up splash units to overcome the kind of mobility advantage that StarCraft 1 has, or StarCraft 2 has. All right, well, he somehow knew that was there. I guess in StarCraft 1, the mines don't actually show where they are. I don't know if they made that something that happened in this mod. I actually hadn't realized if that's the case. Now, just rushes in here with these Ravagers. And, well, he is actually pretty much clearing all the tanks. So I think TY's pretty boned at this point. This is a pretty terrible situation for TY. So despite the fact that TY had a bunch of mines and like 5 tanks in siege mode, a handful of Ravagers runs in and kills everything. I'm still waiting for a Terran to beat anyone in this in a reasonable manner. Okay. Well, that time it certainly doesn't happen. We'll get into game 2. All right, sorry about that. Anyways, we are getting started here in game number 2. We have TY in the top left of site Delta. And in the bottom right, we're going to have Dark. And Dark is actually playing StarCraft 1 Zerg, isn't he? And TY is playing StarCraft 2 Terran. Oh, this is kind of interesting having them go back and forth. Now, I'm not exactly sure of what Dark's level is. I believe he was actually like a practice partner in StarCraft 1 back in the day, but I'm not... I don't think he was a full-fledged pro, if I'm not mistaken. It will be funny if the StarCraft 2 race wins every single time. that will be pretty funny. I would be shocked if Dark can beat TY's Terran with StarCraft 1 Zerg. That would be pretty shocking to me. Because it's like the mutas aren't going to move as well as StarCraft 1 mutas. And then other than that, it's like, okay, yeah, the Defiler is insane, right? I guess that's the other thing that you have that's maybe going on for you here. Just like in StarCraft 1, StarCraft 2 Terran does not have melee units. Maybe Hellbats would do something, or Hellions would do something with their splash. There's a possibility of that. All right, so TY getting ready to expand here, going for a Reaper expansion. You know, actually, just going like one of these 2-racks Reaper openers would probably kill the build that I'm seeing here from Dark. True, I believe it was one of the only players I saw open with pool first quick speed in this mod with StarCraft 1 Zerg, and it made a lot of sense, I think, because you don't have good anti-Reaper. If they go for a 2x Reaper, how are you supposed to hold that with StarCraft 1 Zerg? That does not seem realistic. So he is getting Zergling speed here pretty quick. Yeah, the Reaper just going to jump up and... Yeah, you can already see a little bit of an issue here. Oh, wow. The StarCraft 1 Zerg gets a speed boost on creep. You know, I love that someone or a team of people took the time to design this mod. Some of the decisions they made are a little bit weird, I feel like. Like... Giving a speed boost to StarCraft 1 Zerg is like, this is not something you have in in StarCraft 1, so it's kind of weird to to see that here. But yeah, as you can see, the Reaper is basically unkillable until speed. So again, he could have 5 Reapers in the base right now and the game could simply be over. So I think you actually, like, if this game continues to be played and gets mapped out a bit, I think you basically have to open pool first. Because, like, if you imagine if he had 5 Reapers right now, the game would just be over. That would be completely it. And this is part of what I've been talking about, where the mobility advantage for StarCraft 2 races is pretty insane. And then, of course, on top of that, things like mules, larva injects, stuff like that. So anyways, circling speed is done, so it seems like Dark is safe at this point. He is continuing to drone pretty heavily, getting double evolution chamber melee attack on the way. A very StarCraft 2-esque strategy. This is, like, you would never see this in StarCraft 1. Double evolution chamber. But of course, this is, you know, the StarCraft 2 way, so you can see he's already got up to 5 hatches. Kind of crazy, actually. Just stuff you would could never see in, you know, in StarCraft 1. This would just be completely undoable. So, plenty of lings being made. Layer on the way. TY teching up to those medevacs really, really quickly. I believe he's actually doing a 2-on-1 here, if I'm not mistaken. Combat shields coming up. Double medevac. Yeah, so he's going to have to get something done with this bio push because, like, 5 bases this quick doesn't even make sense. I think he will be able to as well. There's no queens to stop medevacs at all. There's literally nothing that hits air. I don't know. I guess he's going to go Spire. But yeah, I don't know. What I see happening right now is I think TY is very simply going to fly across the map and kill Dark now. That is kind of my my gut feeling here. All right, here come the medevacs. You see Dark. He's trying to chase these down. All right, so the lings come up, do a little surround there. He does have a lot of lings, so as long as he's getting that good of surface area, he can kind of do things. But yeah, TY drops here behind the mineral patch is going to make it a lot harder. Ling's sitting up in the main base because he's afraid if he pulls these out. Oh, God. TY is just barely going to cut through everything here. So you see a ton of lings going down. And yeah, enough come up that he will be able to hold on. He does have those 1-1 upgrades, which is pretty important. Handful of Hellions turning into Hellbats here. Oh my God, Hellbats against StarCraft 1 Zerg. Holy God. That's going to be tough, right? Hellbats definitely doing a good job against the lings, but there's so many lings here for Dark. Very, very impressive. So Dark here is now on 7 bases, by the way. Only 55 drones, so it's not a true 7 base, but he does have 7 bases. TY trying to keep pressure on. Dark is literally just spamming out Zerglings and Zergling upgrades, going towards Hive. He's definitely going to go into Ultras. This is actually really funny. Oh my God. Dude, the lings are clearing things. This is like setting up to be a really interesting game. A lot more racks coming out. Like Dark is, I feel like I want to say Dark is just ahead here, right? And he's literally only defending with lings right now. This doesn't even, like, TY is grinding though, right? Like he's getting good engagements. It's just there's so many hatches here for Dark. Dark goes for the Ultralisk Cavern. There are some spores on the way, it looks like. Maybe try to keep those medevacs out a little bit more. All right, the Hellbat's going to have to do some heavy lifting here. That is a hell of a lot of Lings there with 2/2 upgrades. They do push everything back really quickly. This is so funny because, like, even this wouldn't work in StarCraft 1. Like, even if you had that many bases, pure Ling would never do it. It wouldn't occur. You could just mix in a few Fire Bats and stop something like this. So kind of an insane situation. Chitinous plating on the way here for Dark. Getting his Ultras out. Getting his Adrenal upgrade. Hasn't started +3 Carapace, but definitely going to be important. Of course, the Ultras in StarCraft 1 do not do splash damage. It's kind of funny. They don't do splash damage, but they're somehow stronger than the StarCraft 2 Ultras that do splash damage. Isn't that weird? All right, so Ultras are coming out right now. I don't know what that Broodling icon is on the production tab. Maybe that's like... I don't know what that is. What is that? Spawn Broodling. Okay. That makes sense. That makes sense. It is a picture of 2 Broodlings. Okay, so he has the Queen's Nest and he's going for Spawn Broodling. So that's, you know, just to blow up some siege tanks. Thank you, Mapu. Single Ultra trying to break through this wall. Looks like he will succeed. This looks like something that can be surrounded. Now, Dark doesn't have any anti-air to deal with these Liberators. It seems like the Liberator is going to do a very, very good job here. But that's pretty standard for Dark, even in StarCraft 2 pro games. He generally doesn't, you know, go Ultras quick and not have anti-air very oftentimes, even in very important games. So right now, the Liberator doing a fantastic job. TY just starting to cut through everything. GG is called, and StarCraft 2 wins. Damn, I guess StarCraft 2 is just a better game than StarCraft 1. Okay, 1 second. One sec, guys. Sorry, I'll be back 1 second. 1 second, I have to go check on my son real quick. BRB. Okay. Okay. I'm back. Here we go. Here we go. All right. We have down here in the bottom left of Daybreak, it is Dark. And in the top right, we have TY. Now, TY is playing Terran in StarCraft 1, StarCraft 1 Terran, and he's playing against StarCraft 2 Zerg right now, I believe. Yes, that would be StarCraft 2 Zerg. They're like making this easier via skins, so that's nice. All right. So, so far, you know, StarCraft 2's mobility definitely coming out on top, although Dark had 1 million bases that game. I do wonder if he had tried a different comp, like maybe super heavy Ling into Hydra, like even a Ling Hydra comp, maybe? I wonder if that would have been able to do something. I'm not entirely sure. I think there's definitely still some testing that can happen, but the amount that he was able to expand around was pretty nutso. So, And we'll see if something like that ends up happening next time he plays StarCraft 1 Zerg. Yeah, still waiting for that StarCraft 1 race victory. Going to be a quick command center here from TY once again. This time, no gas. So maybe a more biocentric opening. Maybe just a double gas to follow up. And Dark in the meantime. You know, he did go hatch first. No big surprise there. No Reapers he has to deal with or anything like that, which is kind of funny as well. A lot of the things that, you know, you have to prepare yourself earlier on for just the StarCraft 1 races do not have available. All right, so yeah, I'm trying to I'm just kind of going over in my head the various ideas of what could be done here, right? So last game he opened up with some vultures and laid some mines down, tried to get into siege tanks, and Dark simply made some Ravagers and Lings and attacked him and won. It didn't seem like an all-in. It didn't seem like some sort of scary attack. It was just like, hey, you're dead. And, you know, TY was like, yeah, I guess so. So a little bit of an issue there. He is going double factory again. Not too surprised to see that. I do think heavier vulture composition might be a better idea. Like, he only went for a handful of vultures before the tanks. I think, like, once you really get your economy rolling, adding in those tanks is very good. But it seems like the StarCraft 1 vultures are still pretty strong in the early game. He's going for a starport. So this could be for a vulture drop, or this could be for a Wraith. Could definitely see it either way. Wraith to fly around, kill off overlords or something like that. Got to say one thing is the Valkyrie is super, super strong in this mod. Unbelievably strong, in fact. It actually feels like many times stronger than the Valkyrie feels in StarCraft 1. Yeah, I don't know if we'll end up seeing that at all throughout the series or not, but yeah, we'll see. So Vulture speed is on the way, not mines this time. 5 roaches being made, so it feels like Dark is probably going to attack again. All right, dropship on the way. So this is going to be a speed vulture drop. And I mean, this could do a ton of damage, obviously. But Roach Ravager walking across the map, we don't really have anything that can fight that. I'm not sure what size the roaches are considered against the vultures. It all comes down to that. Like, if they're light units, the vultures will literally just wreck them. If they're medium units, it'll be pretty even. If they're large units, it's going to be impossible for the vultures to do anything but tickle them. So, hard to say. A siege tank on the way as well as a Wraith. The vultures run away as they see these coming via the Zelnaga Watchtower, and he is bringing that dropship up. So the roaches just simply walk forward. And, well, he does get the surround. Don't forget, 60 health SCVs. Definitely helpful, but not the end all, that's for sure. The dropship is going to be hitting the main base now. So while a lot of damage is being dealt on this side... And don't forget, you do have to upgrade siege mode in StarCraft 1 Terran. So, yeah, no, it looks like roaches are considered large based upon the damage I just saw there to that roach. So, yeah, the concussive damage, not having a very good time. This is looking like TY is pretty dead again, honestly. Like, he is taking a hell of a lot of damage here. He's killing an okay amount of drones, though, honestly. How many drones did he end up killing? 38 to 26 left over. 9 drones on the way instantly here for Dark. So 20 SCVs killed against 13 drones killed. Okay, so definitely not a good thing here for TY, but he does have a couple of Wraiths out, which could be useful. Cloak on the way, Mines on the way. You know, maybe if he had opened Mines instead of Speed, this would have been a better build. Well, for sure it would have been in this particular case. But the speed does allow you to kill more drones, so, you know, always a trade-off. All right, so right now, Cloak mines, more Wraiths. The Wraiths are going to have to do some heavy lifting here, I think. Yeah, pretty good right there. 3 Wraiths with Cloak. Pretty decent, actually. It's like a pretty common number for this matchup, actually, is to get 3. Well, against StarCraft 1 Zerg, that is. There's some builds that kind of center around 3 Wraiths for a defense. Now, the Wraith's going to fly in. You know, he does have some spores, but the Overlords do not detect. Killing off an Overlord there. Going to set up some siege tanks. Ooh, a nice attack being put together. Does end up cloaking here. Obviously, the damage output of Wraiths is not super, super high. Siege mode has not actually been upgraded yet, so he's just kind of using these in pung-pung mode. The drone's coming off to fight, and the Wraiths get almost completely cleaned up there. Quite a few drones actually being killed off here by TY. A surprisingly strong attack with the Vulture Tank Marine Wraith. Yeah, the tanks are actually doing like super surprisingly well. Now, an Overseer on the way. He does have that layer up, so that's important. Oof. Drags a little bit of splash damage into that tank, and it looks like this will get cleared. So TY is basically tied up the worker count just for this moment. Obviously, you know, we're going to see a lot more drones probably popping out for Dark now. Were the Wraiths good here? Yeah, I think so. It really feels like they actually have done a very good job for him in this game so far. But I'm not sure it's worthwhile to keep making them. He is continuing to make them. So maybe that's an idea about dealing with the possibility of any switch into Mutalisks. All right, so Dark just on 3 base. TY going to land that command center at his 3rd base. Building a 4th command as well. More factories are coming out. Goliath's coming out also. A couple add-ons only. So just tank Goliath seems to be the production that he's looking for right now. Not a big surprise there. You know, the big Mutalisk ball is definitely something that can be scary here, even though they're not microed in the same way. They do heal really well. Ah, Swarm Host Nidus. Okay. So different level of play here. Stuff that you just never, ever see in StarCraft 1. See how that ends up being utilized. The Cloaked Wraiths running into some detection. They're going to just turn around. Goliath range on the way with +1. This Swarm Host could be really hard to deal with. You know, there's a few different ways that you can deal with Swarm Hosts in StarCraft 2 with mech, and one of them would be Hellbat specifically, which can be like healed up, you know, with Medivacs and whatever to just kind of tank and wipe out those locusts as they land. Nothing like that exists for StarCraft 1 Terran, so this may force TY into an attack. All right, here we go. Swarm Hosts. Gonna go ahead, pop their locusts out, sending them towards that 3rd base. 3rd base just gonna have to lift. I guess that is a good thing, is you can always lift. Yeah, just gonna run away from them immediately. Not really losing too much. He's gonna be able to kill off this Nidus as well. Of course, his Wraiths can clear out those Overlords nearby, which are spotting for that. That'll be important. There's lots of siege tanks being produced right now for TY. He does have that 4 base. You know, 4 base is like you can put out a lot of mech. He's going for some Valks. Okay, I actually really like this idea. The Valkyries can actually shoot the Locusts out of the air, which would be nice. So we might end up seeing that as a form of defense. Although it's going to take a long time to get to a decent amount of Valkyries. Like, they take a bit to build, and he's only got 1 starport. Really feel like I wouldn't mind seeing another starport go down for those. But anyways, the Locust coming in. Going to land on top of some of these Siege Tanks and Goliaths. See how much... not really able to kill that much, honestly. Good solid hold. Hive coming up. Yeah, I think this is his anti-Locust army here with the Valkyrie inside. Yeah, it still has those Wraiths as well. Going to be able to take that down super, super fast. Hive going to be finishing up here. Goliath getting caught out in the middle. Another set of Locusts coming up. Going to kill a few Siege Tanks off, it looks like. Oh my god. That was pretty damn good for Dark right there. A lot of TY's army falling. He actually, I don't know the exact supply he was at, but he was at very reasonable supply. Now he's at 124 against max. So starting to look pretty bad for him here, unfortunately. Still making more tanks, making more Valks. I think the Valks actually might be like the key for trying to knock these Locusts down. But now we have some Vipers on the way, so, you know, Parasitic Bomb going to be an issue. Wait, the Valkyries are not... Okay, yeah, there we go. There's some splash damage. Not as much as I thought we'd see there, though. It seems like the spread wasn't very good for the Valkyrie. Huh. When I had Valkyries fight against Mutas and stuff, it felt like a very good spread, like in StarCraft 1. That one looked wrong to me. Not entirely sure. All right, Irradiate as well as Vessels on the way. Spire coming up here for Dark, who has taken a huge amount of the map now. TY just trying to kind of stay alive right now. He's down 60 supply. All right, those Locusts going to get clean pretty quickly, but, like, you know, this is something that will wear you down over time. You don't necessarily need to just run headlong into your opponent when this is happening, but you do have to consider eventually doing that. Dark continuing to kind of push into the center of the map. It's such an old StarCraft 2 map. We don't really have anything designed like this. But yeah, there's only 3 paths. I have many fond memories of playing games on Daybreak, honestly. A little Lincoln run by. You know, no planetaries or anything, so really hard to keep these bases defended properly on the sides. And you can see that reflected here. You know, TY, okay, so since last time we checked, he's up 20 supply from where he was, right? And he has taken another base. So there are positive things happening for him, but it doesn't feel like he's gained any actual position here. It feels like he's not dead because he expanded and he is getting a little bit more supply, but it doesn't feel like he's ever getting to an army that can really actually go. Maybe he can because it is a Swarm Host-based army on the other side. So that is a lot of supply that's not necessarily good in a fight always. So there is some, you know, some chance that he can just kind of attack. But definitely right now not looking super hot here for our StarCraft 1 Terran. Yeah, Locust going towards that main base. That's going to be highly annoying. StarCraft 1 turret's actually significantly worse than StarCraft 2 turrets. Not really going to put a dent into those as they come into land. Putting down the Nidus behind it as well. Damn. Little roach attack to that third base. You can see just the mobility, right? This is a big part of StarCraft 2 and why StarCraft 2 is such a different game. They have a lot of very harass-centric things, a lot of mobility, and of course, StarCraft 2 has those things put in. Like the static D is very strong in some ways, like missile turrets, for instance, right? You get planetaries, and StarCraft 1 just doesn't quite have things like that. Now, trying to use the eraser here, it looks like the eraser wasn't doing anything against the Locusts. Is that correct? I believe the eraser did nothing there. Oh my god, he just throws down Biles against the mech. Crushes everything. Oh, those are irradiated, huh? Okay, so he's actually transfusing irradiated Vipers? Quick, transfuse it again. Oh my god, he transfused through an irradiate. Well, then it gets picked off immediately, but the Bile's going down everywhere right now. TY trying so hard with this push. Still down 70 supply right now. Sieging up. Locust as well as Biles coming down. GG. StarCraft 2 Zerg winning there for Dark in Game 3. At least we'll have a close series if we keep making one of them play StarCraft 1. Oh. Okay, that was a parasitic bomb on the vessel. It wasn't an eraser. That's what was going on. Okay. Here we go. Game 4. All right, bottom right here. We have Dark playing StarCraft 1 Zerg. And in the top left, we have TY playing StarCraft 2 Terran. Okay, the StarCraft 1 Terran, I still haven't really seen a victory with it. But I after watching Dark play StarCraft 1 Zerg against StarCraft 2 Terran, it seemed like there might be a way. Now, notice that he is opening this time with pull first and a quick speed. As I was saying before, I think that this is necessary because of the power of the Reaper. So is he going to go for the double barracks? Yes. Okay, so he identifies what I was talking about in that previous game. Remember I said if you went 2 barracks Reaper, just that standard opener, it would just kill hatchery first. But here, Dark is doing a build that should counter that fine. Like he should be totally fine, I think. He's going to have plenty of lings. He's going to have the speed upgrade by the time the Reapers are really in force. And he's going to be able to expand. You know, obviously he had to spend a lot of resources to get that, so that kind of sucks. But, you know, TY's spending a lot of your resources getting 2x Reaper as well. And yeah, for those of you wondering as far as what Zerg has for options on hatchery tech, it is not just Zerglings. They also have Hydralisks. Hydralisks are a tier 1 unit. Or I guess you'd call them 1.5, right? Because you need to build the spawning pool to build a Hydralisk den, so probably a 1.5. But yeah, you don't need a layer for the Hydralisk den in StarCraft 1. And the StarCraft 1 Hydras are for sure better than StarCraft 2 Hydras, at least for cost, right? They only cost 1 supply, 75-25, 10 explosive damage. Very, very good unit. All right, he sees that it is the build that he actually prepared for with this 9 pools, or not 9 pool of first speed build. Right, still gets a drone. He's gonna get more than that. All right, catches another one with those speedlings, so that's good. 1 Reaper dead for 1 drone dead. I think that's okay. All right, and gets the kill. Well, that's kind of funny. both the add-ons on the outside. The Lings may be able to mess this up a little bit. I think I would dive on that. Yeah. Not much you can do here. Yeah, I very much like that. Okay, gets rid of both the add-ons, so kind of screwing him up. You know, a little bit unlucky here for TY that he happened to spawn on the left side of the map as opposed to the right spawn, where he would have had those on the inside. You know, even StarCraft 2 with all of its quality of life fixes, the side your add-on is on is not one of them. So, layer on the way, as well as the Hydralisk Den here for Dark. Okay, I like this. I like this. You know, he doesn't have the double Evo that we saw previously. I wonder if he's just going to go like... He might go Manzurg, but we don't see evolution chambers. The thing is, like, upgrades are so key. You know, you can delay upgrades a little bit in StarCraft 2 at certain times. Because of things like, let's say you're going to have Banelings, right? Like you could be like, okay, I don't necessarily need to get upgrades super, super early because I'm going to have splash damage, you know, which deals that extra damage. And yeah, we're going to look at it that way. Whereas in StarCraft 1 here, I'm like, if your opponent gets ahead of you on upgrades and you're going for something like some heavy units, which you're going to have to basically because you're playing StarCraft 1, you're going to be in some trouble there. So you definitely do need to think about that. Now, the Lurker upgrade coming immediately. This might actually be a Lurker bust. But there's Liberators on the way. Okay, you see, TY thinks it's a Lurker bust. He throws on a missile turret. What is... What? And he's starting a bunker here as well. Does have Stim on the way. So it seems to me like Dark may be planning a Lurker bust. But yeah, Liberators, I think, would obviously super, super dominate that. All right, the Marines coming out to the front. Ah, Queen's Nest on the way. Overlord Speed on the way. What? Queen's Nest and Overlord Speed don't go together. That's a little bit weird. Because, like, if you're going... Well, if you're going Overlord Speed, it normally means you want to go Drops, but Queen's Nest means you want to go Hive, right? Both work with Lurker. Like, you can go Lurker Drops, you can go Quick Hive for Defilers. Like, I think a Defiler Rush here might be what Dark is after. But not entirely sure. Couple of Liberators set up. And you can kind of see that, you know, the StarCraft 1 races aren't super prepared for, like, really specific, super hard countering things or, you know, super role functional things, I guess. Right? Like, in StarCraft 1, everything is kind of like just a unit, and you use it for in whatever way you kind of want to. But, like, the Liberators just setting up here is, like, Dark is having a terrible time dealing with that. Now the drops come into the main base. Drones and Lings coming up, and I think TY is basically just eviscerated Dark here. GG. All right. So far, StarCraft 2 is 4-0. I believe our final game will be TY as StarCraft 1 Terran again. So we're going to go ahead and get into that. Let's go. All right, top left, we have Dark as StarCraft 2 Zerg. And top right, we have TY as StarCraft 1 Terran. We're on Whirlwind, an older 4-player map from StarCraft 2. Seems like a pretty reasonable map to be playing these matches on. It is a 16 base map. I don't know how much that will truly come into play here. I would love to see Terran win a game in this mod. StarCraft 1 Terran, that is. Don't know. We'll see what TY... And TY, by the way, is the guy that you want to have play this mod. I just want to throw that out there. Because TY is the highest combined skill level between the two games, if that makes sense. Like, he literally makes GSL and ASL at the same time right now. Like, literally. Makes both of them. So, and he's the only player in the world doing that. So, you know, that's pretty damn impressive. He's an unbelievable level at both. Honestly, I think if TY devotes himself to StarCraft 1, that he's going to become one of the best players in the world in the next 2 years. But yeah, we'll see about that, I guess. Double barracks. So it looks like we're going to have a 1 base Marine medic rush. Not a terrible idea, I think. So, you know, medics come out like really, really fast. You can do nonstop Marine production while getting stim in range. And, well, we'll see what he waits for. I assume he's just going to go immediately with stim and, like, you know, he'll have time to make, like, maybe he wants, like, 2 medics, 2 bats, something like that. Spines, I think, how does spines work here? I guess that they just do a flat 20, right? I believe so. So that should just be basically the same as fighting against a sunk. But I think spines, does spines have less health than a sunken colony? That's a good question. Anyways, we'll see about that. The you know, Marine medic can really bust stuff really, really well. Does not care about sunks too much. So it looks like we actually have 3 racks right now. That is some heavy, heavy production. I would say he's probably going to want 3 medics for the push. Okay, making a fire bat. The fire bat looks like a red SCV. Looks like he's trying to hug something that doesn't want to be hugged in that production tab. Kind of funny to see the medic come up after the fire bat. Just technically speaking, you want the medics first so they bank more energy. SCV's coming too. He's pulling the boys. Okay. Dude, the fire bat looks so funny. Looks like his arms are heavy. So damn, these arms are heavy. All right, here we go. Marine medic fire bat SCV pull. Lot of lings being made. I like how the fire bat like looks smaller than the Marines. It's actually, it's a bigger graphical size in StarCraft 1 than the Marines are. It doesn't fit all the same places Marines fit. All right, here we go. The fire bat in the front, super, super important. And a lot of blocking going down by the SCVs. The SCV's actually doing a great job with that 60 health. Continues to stim forward, going after the queens now. Are we going to get a StarCraft 1 victory? I believe that we are. TY hunting down the queens. 16 lings are on the way. He's going to go ahead and fight with the drones. The drones actually hilariously are killing some Marines. This would never happen in StarCraft 1. And the lings come out and are kind of clearing it, but there's 0 drones, so it doesn't matter. There's 45 minerals. He has 4 drones on the way, but I wonder... Okay, so since he has 4 drones on the way and he killed 11 SCVs, does he stay in the game and try to make this work? If he had canceled a few more lings, I feel like there might be some chance. I don't think that there's literally any chance, though. If you just go, like, some fire bats and some medics and, like, a couple Marines, you can't do anything. Look at this. He's got, like, 6 bats. He's making 3 medics right now. Yeah, the follow-up push should be able to just kill him off immediately. I don't think Dark has any chance in hell here. Definitely that SCV pull is super important as well. If those Marines or rather, if the lings that were attacking the SCVs had surface area on those Marines instead, this would have been a very held push. Very, very held. Okay, that is something that lings can't beat. Not in a million years. Counterattack from Dark. No, Marines on the inside can't do anything there. He's trying to make a spine, but I don't think that's going to be coming up in time. All right, he's trying to come up with these lings. He's going to get a surround on a medic and a firebat, so not bad pickoffs. Dude, the spine takes 3,000 years to make. That is hilarious. Yeah, the lings trying their best here. One of the medics did get very low. GG is called, and TY going to take a victory with Terran, even if it is a one base all in. And there you have it. TY wins the show match 3-2. Woo! StarCraft 2 races are definitely way outperforming StarCraft 1 races here. All right, so that